Einstein became a professor and continued his research. In 1915, he introduced the general theory of relativity.
Albert Einstein, a name that has become synonymous with genius, imagination, and the power of human thought.
Enhanced. Albert Einstein, the genius who changed the world. Albert Einstein Koner, a name that has become synonymous.
As a child, Einstein wasn't the best student. But why is it like that?
Einstein hated the rigid structure of the German education system. He preferred thinking freely over
Albert Einstein, the genius who changed the world. Albert Einstein, a name that has become synonymous with genius, imagination, and the power of human thought. But behind the image of the wild-haired scientist was a story of curiosity, struggle, rebellion, and deep humanity. Early life. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany, to a middle-class Jewish family. His father, Hermann Einstein, ran an electrical business, while his mother, Pauline, nurtured his love for music. As a child, Einstein wasn't the best student. Teachers called him slow and distracted, not because he lacked intelligence, but because he constantly questioned everything. When he was 5, his father showed him a compass. Einstein was fascinated that an invisible force could make the needle move. That simple moment sparked a lifelong obsession with understanding the unseen laws of nature. Education and rebellion. Einstein hated the rigid structure of the German education system. He preferred thinking freely over memorizing facts. At 15, his family moved to Italy and he left school behind. Eventually, he entered the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, where his independent thinking flourished. He wasn't a perfect student there either, skipping classes and clashing with professors, but he excelled in math and physics. In 1900, he graduated, but he struggled to find a teaching job. Instead, he took a position as a patent clerk in Bern, Switzerland. The miracle year, 1905. While working in that small office, reviewing inventions, Einstein used his spare time to think, deeply and differently. In 1905, often called his annus mirabilis, miracle year, he published 4 groundbreaking papers that changed physics forever. Photoelectric effect, showing that light acts as both wave and particle, laying the foundation for quantum theory. Brownian motion, proving the existence of atoms through the movement of particles in water. Special theory of relativity, revealing that space and time are interconnected and that time can slow down depending on speed. E equals mc2, his most famous equation, showing that energy and mass are 2 sides of the same coin. Those papers made Einstein a revolutionary thinker, transforming how humanity understood the universe. Rise to fame. Einstein became a professor and continued his research. In 1915, he introduced the general theory of relativity, expanding his ideas about gravity. He proposed that gravity wasn't a force pulling objects, but rather the curvature of space and time caused by mass. In 1919, British astronomers confirmed his theory during a solar eclipse. When light from stars bent around the sun, just as Einstein predicted, he became an international celebrity. Newspapers declared him the new Newton, a voice for humanity. But Einstein wasn't just a scientist, he was a humanist, a thinker deeply concerned with peace, justice, and freedom. As a Jewish intellectual in Germany, he faced growing anti-Semitism. When Adolf Hitler rose to power, Einstein left Germany for the United States in 1933, accepting a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. He never returned to his homeland. Watching Europe fall into war broke his heart. The atomic age. Although Einstein was a pacifist, his famous equation EE-mc2 hinted at the potential of atomic energy. When Nazi Germany began developing weapons during World War II, Einstein, fearing what Hitler could do, signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, urging the US to begin research into atomic energy. That letter led to the Manhattan Project and eventually the creation of the atomic bomb. Einstein later regretted his role, dedicating his remaining years to peace activism and nuclear disarmament. Later years and legacy. Einstein spent his later life trying to unify all the laws of physics into a single theory, what he called the unified field theory. Though he never completed it, his ideas paved the way for modern physics, influencing everything from quantum mechanics to black hole theory. He became a symbol of intellect and humility. Despite his fame, he lived simply, refusing luxury, wearing old clothes, and speaking openly about the dangers of nationalism and blind obedience. Einstein died on April 18, 1955, at the age of 76 in Princeton, New Jersey. Before his death, he refused surgery, saying, "I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go." His brain was preserved for study. But his true legacy was not in his brain, it was in his mind, in his ability to dream, to imagine, and to question everything. Legacy. Albert Einstein redefined not just science, but the way humans think about reality itself. He showed that curiosity can move the world, that imagination is more powerful than knowledge, and that even one person, thinking differently, can change everything. Today, his theories continue to influence space exploration, GPS technology, quantum computing, and our understanding of time itself. Einstein once said, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." And that perhaps is his greatest lesson of all. Albert Einstein is a name that echoes through history as a symbol of genius, imagination, and the power of human curiosity. Yet behind the iconic wild hair and instantly recognizable face was a story of struggle, rebellion, relentless questioning, and extraordinary insight that changed the world forever. Albert was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany, into a middle-class Jewish family. His father, Hermann Einstein, ran an electrical business, while his mother, Pauline, encouraged a love of music and creativity. From a young age, Albert showed an intense curiosity about the world. When he was just 5 years old, his father showed him a compass, and he was fascinated that an invisible force could make the needle move. He pondered this unseen force for hours, and it sparked a lifelong obsession with understanding the mysteries of nature. School, however, did not come easy. Teachers labeled him as slow, inattentive, and rebellious. But Albert's mind did not conform to rigid structures. He questioned everything, often challenging authority and refusing to memorize without understanding. While other children were content with rote lessons, Albert dreamed of stars, light, and the invisible forces shaping reality. At 15, his family moved to Italy, and Albert left school behind, preferring freedom over strict classrooms. Eventually, he enrolled at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, where he studied physics and mathematics. Even there, he often skipped classes, clashed with professors, and followed his own path of independent learning. Yet, his brilliance was undeniable. He mastered complex mathematics and physics with ease and began thinking about problems that would baffle even seasoned scientists. After graduation in 1900, Einstein struggled to find a teaching position and took a modest job at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. But this quiet office job became the laboratory for his revolutionary ideas. During his free time, he pondered the nature of light, time, and space. The mundane work reviewing inventions gave him a unique perspective. Observing mechanics and designs inspired his own creative thinking about the universe. In 1905, while still at the patent office, Einstein had his annus mirabilis, or miracle year, publishing 4 groundbreaking papers that transformed physics. The photoelectric effect, proving light behaves as both particle and wave. Brownian motion, confirming the existence of atoms. Special relativity, showing that space and time are interconnected, and the famous equation E=mc2, revealing the equivalence of mass and energy. These discoveries shook the scientific world and established Einstein as a revolutionary thinker. As his fame grew, Einstein continued to push boundaries. In 1915, he introduced the general theory of relativity, proposing that gravity was not a simple force but the curvature of space and time caused by mass. When British astronomers confirmed his predictions during the 1919 solar eclipse, Einstein became an international celebrity overnight. Newspapers called him the new Newton, and his ideas captured the imagination of millions. Yet Einstein's life was not only about science, he was deeply human, a thinker concerned with justice, peace, and freedom. As a Jewish intellectual in Germany, he witnessed the rise of anti-Semitism and the horrors of the Nazi regime. In 1933, he left Germany and moved to the United States, joining the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. He never returned to his homeland, watching with sorrow as Europe descended into war. Although a committed pacifist, Einstein became aware of the threat posed by Nazi Germany's pursuit of atomic weapons. In 1939, he co-signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, warning that Germany might develop nuclear bombs and urging the U.S. to research atomic energy. This letter indirectly contributed to the Manhattan Project, though Einstein himself did not work on building the bomb and later regretted the letter, dedicating his life to nuclear disarmament and peace activism. Einstein's personal life was complex. He married twice and had children, but his dedication to science often created distance in family relationships. Yet he maintained a love for music, playing the violin throughout his life, finding in music a solace and inspiration that complemented his scientific imagination. In his later years, Einstein pursued the unified field theory, attempting to reconcile the forces of nature into a single framework. Though he never completed this grand ambition, his work laid the foundation for future discoveries in quantum mechanics, cosmology, and astrophysics. Einstein's fame never dimmed, and he became a global symbol of intellect, curiosity, and moral courage. Despite his recognition, he lived modestly, wore simple clothes, and spoke openly about the dangers of nationalism, blind obedience, and oppression. He urged society to value critical thinking, empathy, and imagination as much as scientific achievement. On April 18, 1955, Einstein passed away at the age of 76 in Princeton. Even in death, he remained a figure of inspiration. His brain was preserved for study, but his true legacy was in his ideas, curiosity, and humanity. He demonstrated that imagination, courage, and persistent questioning could illuminate the universe and challenge the limits of human understanding. Einstein once said, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." His life embodies that philosophy. He reminds us that genius is not just in knowledge, but in wonder, creativity, and the courage to see the world differently. From a curious child fascinated by a compass to a revolutionary scientist reshaping the understanding of the cosmos, Albert Einstein's story is more than the tale of a genius. It is a testament to human curiosity, resilience, and the power of ideas to transform the world. Every theory, equation, and discovery reflects a mind that refused to accept limits, a life dedicated to asking questions, and a legacy that continues to inspire generations. Albert Einstein did not just reveal the secrets of the universe. He revealed the boundless potential of human thought, imagination, and courage, leaving a timeless mark on history that will never be forgotten. Albert Einstein is remembered as one of the greatest minds in human history, a symbol of genius, imagination, and curiosity. But his story is not just about equations and theories. It's about a man who challenged norms, questioned authority, and reshaped our understanding of the universe. Albert was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany, into a Jewish family. His father ran an electrical business, and his mother nurtured his love of music. As a child, Einstein was fascinated by the world. When he saw a compass at the age of 5, he was captivated that an invisible force could make the needle move. That moment sparked a lifelong passion for understanding the unseen laws of nature. School was difficult for him. Teachers called him slow and inattentive, not recognizing his unique mind. Einstein preferred thinking freely, questioning everything and learning through curiosity rather than rote memorization. Later, he studied at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, where he excelled in math and physics, despite clashing with professors and often skipping classes. After graduation in 1900, he struggled to find work and took a modest position at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. This quiet job became the perfect environment for thought. In 1905, during his miracle year, he published 4 revolutionary papers that changed physics forever. The photoelectric effect, proving light behaves as both wave and particle. Brownian motion, confirming atoms exist. Special relativity, revealing the link between space and time. And the famous equation E = mc2, showing mass and energy are interchangeable. Einstein's ideas earned him worldwide fame, especially after his general theory of relativity in 1915, which proposed that gravity is the curvature of spacetime caused by mass. When British astronomers confirmed this theory during the 1919 solar eclipse, Einstein became an international sensation, celebrated as the new Newton. But Einstein's life was not just about science. He was a committed humanist, advocating for peace, justice, and civil rights. As a Jewish intellectual in Nazi Germany, he left Europe in 1933 and moved to the United States, joining Princeton's Institute for Advanced Study. He became a vocal critic of oppression, nationalism, and war, even as the world faced global conflict. During World War II, he warned the US government about the potential of Nazi Germany developing nuclear weapons, co-signing a letter that indirectly led to the Manhattan Project. Though he did not work on the bomb, he later regretted his involvement and dedicated himself to peace activism and nuclear disarmament. Einstein also had a rich personal life. He married twice, had children, and enjoyed music, especially playing the violin. He balanced his rigorous scientific work with simple living and deep reflection on human values. He spent his later years searching for a unified field theory, trying to reconcile all forces of nature. Though he never completed this quest, his contributions laid the foundation for modern physics, from quantum mechanics to cosmology. Albert Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955, at 76, leaving behind a legacy that transcends science. His life teaches that curiosity, imagination, and courage to question the world can lead to discoveries that change humanity. He once said, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." Einstein's story is more than genius. It is a testament to resilience, creativity, and the power of the human mind. From a curious child fascinated by a compass to a revolutionary thinker redefining reality, Albert Einstein's life inspires generations to dream, imagine, and explore the unknown. Albert Einstein is one of the most famous names in human history, a symbol of genius, curiosity, and imagination. But behind the wild hair and iconic image lies a story of struggle, relentless questioning, and a mind that forever changed the way we understand the universe. Albert was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany, into a Jewish family. His father, Hermann Einstein, ran an electrical business, while his mother, Pauline, encouraged music and creativity. Even as a child, Albert's mind worked differently. At 5, his father showed him a compass. Fascinated, Albert wondered what invisible force made the needle move, pondering the unseen workings of nature. That single moment ignited a lifelong obsession with understanding the mysteries of the world. School was challenging. Teachers labeled him slow, inattentive, and rebellious. But Einstein's mind refused to conform. He questioned everything, sought deeper understanding, and rejected rote memorization. He preferred independent thought over structured learning, often frustrating educators, but nurturing the curiosity that would define his life. At 15, Albert's family moved to Italy, and he left school behind. Eventually, he enrolled at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, studying mathematics and physics. Here, he excelled, despite conflicts with professors, skipped classes, and focused on his own explorations. He found freedom in independent learning, discovering patterns, questioning assumptions, and imagining the universe in ways few could. After graduation in 1900, Einstein struggled to find a teaching position. He took a modest job at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern, evaluating inventions. While seemingly mundane, this work exposed him to mechanics and engineering in practical ways, inspiring creative thought. It was in this quiet office that he began developing ideas that would revolutionize physics. In 1905, while still a patent clerk, Einstein published 4 groundbreaking papers known as his Annus Mirabilis, or Miracle Year. These works transformed physics. The photoelectric effect showed light behaves as both particle and wave, laying the groundwork for quantum mechanics. Brownian motion provided evidence for the existence of atoms. Special relativity redefined space and time, revealing they are interconnected and relative to the observer. And the famous EMC2 equation demonstrated the equivalence of mass and energy, fundamentally changing how humans understood matter and the universe. These publications shocked the scientific world and established Einstein as a revolutionary thinker. Yet, his fame grew slowly at first. It wasn't until 1915, when he introduced the general theory of relativity, that he truly became a household name. This theory explained gravity as the curvature of space and time, rather than a simple force, challenging centuries of scientific thought. In 1919, during a solar eclipse, British astronomers confirmed Einstein's predictions. Light from distant stars bent around the sun as he had calculated. The world took notice. Newspapers proclaimed him a genius, calling him the new Newton, and his ideas captured imaginations globally. In 1933, he immigrated to the United States, joining the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey, never to return to Germany. He used his fame to speak out against oppression, nationalism, and war, demonstrating that intelligence and morality can coexist. During World War II, Einstein faced moral dilemmas. Though a committed pacifist, he recognized the danger posed by Nazi Germany. In 1939, he co-signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, warning that Germany could develop atomic weapons and urging the U.S. to pursue research. This letter indirectly led to the Manhattan Project. Einstein later regretted his involvement and devoted himself to advocating nuclear disarmament and global peace. Einstein's personal life was complex. He married twice and had children, though family relationships were sometimes strained by his dedication to science. He also cherished music, particularly the violin, finding in it inspiration, comfort, and creative fuel for his scientific ideas. In his later years, Einstein sought a unified field theory, attempting to reconcile all fundamental forces of nature into a single, elegant framework. Though he never completed this ambitious goal, his work influenced countless scientific advances, including quantum mechanics, cosmology, and black hole research. Albert Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955, at age 76. Even in death, he remained a symbol of intellectual courage. His brain was preserved for study, yet his true legacy lies in his ideas, his questioning mind, and his commitment to understanding the universe. Einstein once said, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." His life embodies this philosophy. He reminds us that genius is not merely about knowledge, but about imagination, creativity, and the courage to see the world differently. From the curious child fascinated by a compass to the revolutionary scientist who redefined time and space, Einstein's story is a testament to human curiosity, resilience, and the transformative power of ideas. His life shows that one mind, daring to question, can illuminate the universe and inspire generations. Einstein's impact extends far beyond science. His moral courage, advocacy for peace, and insistence on ethics in the pursuit of knowledge continue to influence the world. He teaches us that brilliance is not only in what we know, but in how we imagine, explore, and act in the world. The story of Albert Einstein is more than a biography. It is a lesson in persistence, imagination, and humanity. It is a reminder that the universe holds mysteries for those willing to wonder, and that every question we dare to ask may reveal truths capable of changing the world forever. Even today, Einstein's legacy thrives in science, education, culture, and the hearts of those inspired to think differently. His life proves that curiosity, courage, and imagination are timeless, and that the pursuit of knowledge, combined with conscience, can leave a mark on history that endures far beyond one lifetime.